millions of us travel to have darshan of Lord Jagannath. We stand in that crowd, we see the deities, and we feel that incredible energy. But have you ever stopped to really think about what that word darshan truly means? Well, today we're going to go beyond just seeing with our eyes and dive into the profound spiritual journey that is the true darshan of Jagannath.
So let's start with the most basic question. When we go to a temple, what's really happening? Are we just looking at a beautiful deity, or is there something much, much deeper going on? What does it actually mean to see the Lord?
You see, the word darshan is so much more than just seeing. It's not a one-way street where we just look. The scriptures describe it as a sacred, two-way encounter. Think of it like a bridge being built in that moment, a powerful connection between you, the devotee, and the divine, between our everyday, finite world and something truly infinite. Now, to really wrap our heads around this, we have to understand that this experience happens on two completely different levels. It's a journey that starts with our physical eyes, but is meant to end in the very depths of our soul.
That's right. The scriptures lay out two profound, but deeply connected, kinds of this sacred experience.
And this right here, this basically maps out the entire spiritual journey for us. On one side, you've got Chakshusha Darshan. That's the external, physical part, the seeing with our eyes. And on the other, you have Tattva Darshan, the deep internal realization of truth. One is the starting point, the other, well, that's the ultimate destination.
All right, let's start with the one we're all familiar with, the outer experience, what's called Chakshusha Darshan.
I mean, this is a full-on sensory immersion, isn't it? Just picture it. You're in the Puri temple. You see that breathtaking sight of the deities on the Ratnasinghasan. You hear the temple bells, the conches, the sacred chanting. You can smell the sandalwood and the flowers in the air. Or think about Rath Yatra. That single glimpse of the Lord on the chariot can just fill your heart with this incredible, indescribable joy. That's Chakshusha Darshan. So here's the crucial point. This physical experience is incredibly powerful. It absolutely purifies the mind and awakens that deep feeling of devotion within us. But, and this is a really big but, spiritually speaking, this is the doorway, not the final room. It's this very purification that quiets everything down inside so we can even begin to perceive that much deeper reality. And that leads us perfectly to the ultimate goal of this entire spiritual journey, the inner realization known as Tattva Darshan. At the very heart of Tattva Darshan is this massive, world-changing declaration from the Upanishads, Aham Brahmasmi. It means, I am the divine. Wow, just think about that for a second. That single realization completely flips the script. You go from looking for God out there to realizing the divine is already in here. In this state, that feeling of being separate, it just dissolves. You're no longer seeing Lord Jagannath, the Lord of the universe, as some entity outside of yourself. You begin to realize that the very consciousness that allows you to see, to feel, to exist right now is the same universal consciousness he represents. Okay, that is a huge leap, isn't it? It leads to the most practical and important question of all. So how do we do it? How do we actually make that journey from just seeing with our eyes to this profound state of inner knowing? Well, thankfully, the scriptures don't just point to the mountaintop and say, good luck. They actually provide us with a map. So let's explore the paths for this journey, the ways we can build that bridge within ourselves. The Bhagavad Gita lays out 3 main routes because, hey, we're all wired differently. For the people who are all about action, there's Karma Marga, finding the divine through selfless service. For those who are heart-centered, there's Bhakti Marga, the path of pure, unfiltered love and devotion. And for the thinkers, the intellectuals, there's Jnana Marga, the path of deep inquiry and contemplation. However, for the age we live in now, the Kali Yuga, the scriptures get very specific. They tell us that the most accessible and powerful method for everyone, no matter your temperament, is Nama Sankirtan, the practice of chanting the holy names of the Lord. And listen, this isn't just a casual suggestion. It's stated with incredible emphasis. This verse says, in this age of Kali, there is no other way, no other way, no other way for liberation than chanting the holy name of the Lord. That repetition 3 times is like a giant spiritual highlighter. It's there to make sure we get just how supremely important this is. So what does this actually look like? Well, it's a beautifully simple yet profound discipline. It often involves using a sacred tulasi mala. With a focused mind, you just chant the holy names.
The sound vibration itself begins to purify your consciousness. And with each repetition, you start to feel the Lord's presence, not just in the temple, but in every single breath.
This brings us to the culmination of our journey. What's the ultimate outcome? What is the whole point of achieving this true darshan? The final aim is not just to see, but to merge. The illusion of duality, you know that feeling that you are here and the divine is somewhere else? It just vanishes. And when that sense of separation disappears, suffering, which is rooted in that very separation, finally ends. It's freedom from the anxiety of feeling small and alone in this huge universe. This is the state of moksha, or ultimate liberation.
So let's circle all the way back and ask our question one final time, now with this new understanding. What is true darshan?
It is this: to dissolve the line between the seer and the seen. To come to that profound, mind-blowing realization that the one you have been seeking is the very consciousness that has been doing the seeking all along. And in the end, every pilgrimage we take, every prayer we say, is ultimately an answer to a timeless call from the divine. It's an invitation that echoes not from a distant temple, but from right within our own heart. See me in your heart. Jai Jagannath!